War pirates, yes, they roll back, sent tied to the merchant ship. Minutes after they took her from the bottomless pit, but my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever heard, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but yourself can free your mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of that can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We gotta fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever heard, redemption song. They say education is what you remember after you've forgotten what you are taught. It means that education is not what you're taught. Rather, it's what you choose to learn, because we tend to remember what's important to us for later use. Now, normally, a stranger presents you with a set of new knowledge. Then you intuitively choose to learn what's important to you and then forget the rest. That's why in a mathematics class, you like commercial arithmetics but fail in calculus. Not because one is hard and the other is easy, but it's what you think you need to know that determines what you end up liking. This cycle of education peaks at the age of 30. What's up, pretty nation? Welcome to the conversation with Tcha Erik. Today and every Monday here on Tcha Erik Daily on YouTube. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. There are two aspects of education, really. That is what you are taught and what you learn. Three people educate you in this life. Your parents educate you from the age of 0 to 18 in primary to high school. Then the government educates you from the age of 19 to 25 in college or university. And then you educate yourself from the age of 30 ad infinitum. I'm assuming you're a normal, regular, average human being. Both your parents and the government give you the foundation from which you build your own education. That's why self-education has a better head start. Now, others call it personal growth, but I call it self-education. Self-education is the real and the most genuine education, because not that your parents and the government educate you with an agenda. Your parents educate you because it is their responsibility. They also educate you because they don't want you to be a burden to them later in life. But African parents educate you because you're a pension plan. You are their retirement benefit. It's called black tax. Then the government educates you because they want you to be a good employee of the government or a good citizen. Then you educate yourself because you want to be the best version of you. I'd like to highlight 3 major aspects of self-education. Number 1, spirituality and faith. Now, most people lose their religion at 30. By the age of 30, you've developed a very clear understanding of yourself. You've known yourself. And the ripple effect is that it enables you to think and rethink and reconstruct your understanding of who God is and how He is relevant in your life now henceforth. And you've had a life-changing moment that forces you to reevaluate your presence in this world. Maybe you've lost a loved one, a spouse, a child, a parent, or you've been in a car accident or survived a carjacking moment. Now, you start to question the presence of God, the role of God in your suffering. And you then form your own opinion on faith, and you have the balls to drop some of the religious garbage that you were taught if you grew up in a religious setting. You start questioning the inconsistent stories in the Bible or Quran. You call this losing your religion. Here, many lose faith in God based on what they were taught, but seek to find God in a more deeper way. Because you notice that people leave church, all right? But they find yoga meditation more relevant. Others remain, however, in these religious settings because they don't have friendship outside these religious circles. So they just remain the regular goers of to church or mosque. But here, at the age of 30, people find purpose. Because God becomes real and your role in the relationship between you and God becomes crystal clear. Most successful churches or ministries were founded by people in their 30s. Nairobi Chapel was founded by Oscar Murillo in his 30. Mavuno was founded by Wanjao Mureithi at his 30. And even Papa Center Church was founded by Julian Kula at the age of 30. And heck, Jesus started his ministry at the age of 30, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, also got his first revelation at the age of 40, all right, past 30. Okay, so a lot of things. 30 is that point where people find themselves. Number 2, finances and career. People quit employment to start their own things at the age of 30. You can mention people like Abel Mutum, Krugenzi himself, right? By the age of 30, you have a clear career path. At least you've been working for the past 5 years if you're lucky enough to start a job immediately after campus. And you have some savings. If you are earning some good salary, you have some assets like a car or a home. Though very few people own home at 30, but even when you don't own a home, you're able to afford rent at a decent neighborhood, kama huku kwetu Roysambu. But also, you have a clear written or intended career path. If you want to remain employed, you have a very well thought out roadmap on how you're going to rise up the ranks. And if you are having a business, you already identified your role in that business. At 30, you know your monthly budget. Whether you are single, dating, or married, you have a financial plan or a projection, how much you'd like to earn, save, and invest and spend. And so you are familiar with cash flow. Because again, you've also printed your bank statement enough times. By 30, you know how you want your spouse to come in financially. And so you have very few money fights because you have a budget for most of the things that require money. By 30, you probably have a voluntary or a forced financial education. If you live in Kenya, you know a chick called Washeke. or centonomy. If you haven't, just Google either of them. Number 3 and lastly is sex and relationship. It is rumored that if men were to marry women who are 30 years and above, most idiots would remain bachelors, wakinyonga monkey for life. Because a woman in her 30 doesn't give a fuck about a man who hasn't got his shit together. By the age of 30, most women actually are financially strong. So, girl is so confident, man. In fact, she has accepted her body, thick or skinny. She knows her body like a pastor knows his wife. A warning though, do not date a woman in her 30 if you're struggling with your penny size or your dick game, because utakufa na pressure, my guy. Let me tell you something. A woman in her 30 can ride you like a racehorse, and she can eat your meat like her life depends on it. She doesn't give so much time and attention to what other people think of her. She demands good sex because she knows what good and bad is, and she knows how it's supposed to be served. Again, most people in their 30s have had more than one sexual partner. They've been married, divorced, or had their hearts wrecked enough times. And these emotional roller coasters have toughened them. They know what they want and how they want it served. That's why people riot in their 30s. Women walk away from bad marriages in their 30s, or openly cheat or drink without a care in the world. And men hit the bottle or abdicate. They simply give up because they can't take on the heat. Because in their 30, most people are self-aware. And so they feel more deserving. They already know enough and care less of what others think of them. You've probably heard "fuck society" phrase, okay? It comes from people in their 30s because we don't give a damn. Good news is you can escalate your 30s. Work towards your 30. Be intentional. Self-education requires you to read, network, volunteer in the areas of your interest. Travel, explore, practice your craft. Watch a CTA or Caroline Utoko's YouTube channel, enroll in centonomy and learn how to be financially responsible. Basically, educate yourself. There's so much learning space if you want to. Here's the thing, Our education system was designed by colonialists. They had no intention to educate us to be great. They educated us so we could understand them and what they wanted us to do for them. Not necessarily to understand ourselves and what we wanted to do with ourselves. When you study the trend followed by both your parents and the government, you can clearly see this, the colonialists' blueprint. It was meant to improve us just enough to serve the purpose of those who educated us. And they are right. Every one of us, including you, serve our own interest. Nobody do the things they do for the right reasons. People do what they do for the right price. So self-education is when you choose to do what is serving you, right? It is an emancipation program that is meant to build and empower the future within you. Our miseducation is intentional and systemic, and it may take 100 years to change. But you neither have 100 years to live, nor the resources to change it. That's why they say if you want to change the world, change yourself. And the best way to change yourself is educate yourself. That's it for today, folks. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and let the conversations continue. All the best. See you in the next.